Hey everyone, the ghostly form of Eric is here, and today we've got a rather ghastly farm. Let's check it out. So I've designed this farm that will only spawn gas and magma cubes, and it doesn't require any flying machines to work, just some wither roses. Right now I'm using Nimbon's carpet mod to help me showcase it. You see I was just doing a tick warp to speed up the game to kind of show how it works. It is kind of slow. It's only about, you see 40 ghast tears per hour, and that's over about a 10-hour test, which was also done using the tick warp. And another feature of it is way up there in the sky, we have a Steve player spawned in, so I can be down here in spectator and watch it work. And as you can see, this farm is just really simple to build. There's no flying machines involved. It blocks all other spawns, so there's no player interaction. You just go way up there to build limit and AFK. And so we will be going into a full tutorial. This does need to be built on the roof of the Nether because otherwise you just have too many spawning spaces around it. You want all the spawns to be right here in this farm. And the tutorial will go through how to get up here, how to link a portal up here, because you can do that now. You do need the rows of torches, and they have to be on every single block because that blocks pigment spawns, and I guess up here that'd be pretty much it, just the pigment spawns. Alright, so next we're gonna hop into a new world, and I will show you first how to get to the roof of the Nether, how to link a portal up here, and then we'll go into kind of a step-by-step on how to build this farm. Alright, so here we are in a fresh world. I'm in survival mode for now, and we're going to get to the roof of the Nether. Alright, so first thing I did was go to the top of a pretty tall mountain. I'm up here at Y128-ish, and the reason you want to put the portal high is so that it makes it want to link to the one that you put on top of the Nether. And if you're lucky enough and put the portal high up enough, when you build the one on top of the Nether, it'll just link automatically. Alright, so let's try this out. Alright, so this is already a pretty good sign that we're probably near the top. And yeah, we are at 110. That's really great. And so instead of making like a staircase out, because that'll take us pretty far, we're just going to try to go straight up towards the bedrock. Alright, so we're just going to kind of dig this out, all the netherrack, to try to find a nice area to break through. And I'm not going to show you, how to break bedrock. I've only done that successfully a few times. But you can get up there and you can link a portal up there now. Oh, and this looks like it'd be a pretty good place. What Y level is this? That is 126. Really? Alright, so I found a pretty good spot for it. You just keep on kind of digging up, and you want this block that you're looking at to be 127. So we're going to place a ladder right there, and that allows us to just kind of bump our head into the bedrock. And we're going to throw an ender pearl. And it's as easy as that. That's all you have to do. And then you just want to make sure before you throw that ender pearl that you have the obsidian you need to build the return portal. So we'll check this out and see where it takes us. And right back to this same portal on the mountaintop. Very good. And then we'll hop back in. And right to the roof of the Nether. Amazing. And so that one down there now, I don't think it if you go through it, it will take you to the mountaintop, but you can't go from the overworld into that portal. Don't make this your only access to the Nether, is what I'm saying. You know, if you're building this farm, go somewhere out and make a special portal to the roof. But now I'm going to hop into creative mode and we're going to go through building the farm. Alright, now I'm in creative. I have a couple chests over here with the resources we'll need. The farm that was in the showcase was a very expensive version of this farm. And so I'm going to make this, the one in the tutorial, a little bit cheaper. If you look here, instead of doing all powered rails, we'll do regular rails and rows of powered rails. You'll still need a little over 6 stacks of regular rails, about a stack and a half of powered. These are the exact numbers. Gonna need a little over 5 stacks of regular torches, because you will have to put a torch on every single one of the blocks that doesn't have a wither rose. And so you also need a little over a stack and a half of wither roses. And if you're worried about collecting these, don't, because if you check my last tutorial, it was a wither rose farm. And one run of that would get you more than this, so you'll also need a few hoppers and just a double chest, because this is a pretty slow farm. You don't need, if you want to do some kind of collection sorter system, you can, but just a double chest will be good enough. And you only need 21 hoppers to run the rails over, but then just a few extra to get it to the chest. And then one minecart hopper is really all you need. Then over here you also have, you do need a lot of blocks. You'll have about 15 stacks of any kind of block. I'm using smooth stone here. And about 14 stacks of glass. And the glass, it doesn't have to be glass. If you want to be able to see into your farm, you want it to be glass. But you will need probably about a stack of glass or any kind of slab, because there'll be spots that you want to make spawn proof. Okay, so I'm starting the farm here 10 blocks above the bedrock, and that's just a number I chose at random. As long as you build this within range of where your player is going to be, way up there at build limit, then you'll be alright. I just figure this is far enough off the ground to give me some working space, so I don't accidentally run into bedrock. If you know where this farm's going to be, you could build it flat on the bedrock, so you could just walk up to the chest. The first thing I'm going to do is make a 21 by 22 platform out of these blocks. So, alright, so we have our 21 by 22 platform done. And I will come a couple blocks out here to put the double chest in. And that's just so you have an easier time accessing it. And then we're going to do hoppers all the way across this 21 block space. Just like that. And then the next thing is to put in the rails. So we're going to start it from over here. Since it's 21 blocks across, it's going to need 2 end caps. So we'll start the rails here. And then what you want is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's where your first row of powered rails are going to be. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's your second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you would have one here, but you don't want to lock these hoppers. So instead, let's put it here. And I'm just using the levers to mark where they go. And then you loop the rail around. And just as you go, you put a powered rail right next to each other. And then when you get down here, you want to, instead of having this one be a powered rail, you want to just have this one be a powered rail. And you can go down there and mark that as the first spot. And then you just want to snake it all the way around. If you have a little trouble with the rails there, that's okay. Rails can be a little cumbersome. Now that the rails are all in and the power rails are all powered, we could go ahead and put the minecart down, but we'll wait to do that for a second. And this minecart will just run all around, and since it's a pretty slow farm, when it runs around these corners over these hoppers, it'll pretty much unload the entire thing. And if it doesn't, it will unload it on the next round. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is put in the platform where all the spawning is going to happen. And so what you want to do is only put it over the straight rails. The curved rails, the cart won't pick up anything that falls in like this space right here. But if all the rails are straight, the cart will pick up everything. So I'm just going to use a quick fill command to help me out. Alright, and there's our spawning platform. Before we continue, there is a quick correction to the materials list down here. These wither roses need to go on something, so you will also need a stack plus little over a stack and a half of either dirt or soul sand, or anything that you can place wither roses on. I was using soul sand in the showcase. I'll use dirt here because it's a little cheaper. Since we've got that correction out of the way, let's actually put in the dirt onto this spawning platform. So what you want to do is have it on the end, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And that just makes it so you have 4 blocks of space in between, giving plenty of room for the ghast to spawn. But then you have the wither roses close enough so that when the ghast spawns in, it'll immediately be taking damage. So I'm just going to use a little nifty fill command trick to put in these rows of dirt. If I go over here and take a look, I see that the common block here is minus 139, or is 139 minus 15 on the Y and Z, and the X is what's changing. So I'll come down here. We will do fill relative 139 negative 15 relative 139 positive 5 and dirt. And that just puts in a row of dirt. And then I can come down here and just copy and paste that command over and over. And it just fills in these rows of dirt. Alright, so the next thing, since I'm using commands, the next thing I'm going to do is put in the glass chamber. If you want, the next thing you could do is put in the torches and the wither roses. But I'm going to do the bubble around it. And then I'll come in and put the torches and wither roses on top. So we'll go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tall. And that's just so the room itself is 4 tall. And then we'll have a ceiling on it so the ghast can't just fly away. Alright, so we will fill this in. And the reason I'm doing this first is just because fill command does solid spaces. And so now I can come in here with another fill command and just take out the center. There we go. We have our room that will spawn the ghast. Alright, so next we're going to put in the torches and the torches and the wither roses. once more using commands to make my life easy on this tutorial. So torches all over there, and then we're going to use the same trick that we used before to put in the wither roses. So I will flip back up here to this one with the dirt, and the only difference is this is going to be at block 140. And this is going to be a wither rose. And there you go. Now, just come over here and copy and paste that command. Alright, and that's the spawning platform done. Let's break our way on out of the farm. And that is this farm completely done, believe it or not. The next step is to just go way on up in the sky. You do want to put a glass block on top of anything where there's a spawnable space outside the farm, but I think that was the only spot on this design, was that one hopper. Then as you start getting items in, you could partition the chest for Ghast Tears, gunpowder, and Magma Creme. And since it, like I said, it's a little slower, so it's not like you're going to be getting an overflowing chest here, and if you do, you got a ton of hoppers to back it up. So the last thing I'll show you is just a super easy way to build up to the top. I don't think that it's entirely necessary, but I'm going to show it off anyway, because why not? You just take this scaffolding and just spam it. And there you go. You know when you've reached the top because it'll tell you. It'll say, hey, you can't build any higher than that, dude. And then you can just take some glass with you up there. Make you a little platform to stand on. You got to be careful to not click on the top of it because that'll make it get mad at you. And then this middle block here, you could probably leave as scaffolding because I don't think mobs would spawn on this block. They might though. Let's do a quick check. Come down here, check out the farm, and then so I didn't see something spawn up here. If it does, it'll be a pigman. When you get up here, just push it off. But then you could just climb the scaffolding all the way up. If you have your elytra, you could fly up. But this is just where you stand. I think if we want the farm to work, we should probably put a minecart in it. Come over here, drop the minecart at either one of the bookends, and it'll just flow on around. And this is a working farm. You can see while we were up there, right there, there's a ghast here and some gunpowder. It was already working. Alright, so that's going to be it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please leave this video a rating. And, you know, if, as always, if it got the pistons firing in your brain, you're thinking of ideas of how to make this better, please leave a comment. Let me know. I love hearing your thoughts. But, until next time, peace out.